Hey, how's it going today, everybody? My name is Will Tran with Student Filmmaker Pro. I came across this video called Top 5 Common Problems with Student Films. And to no surprise, they took the same approach that every film professor takes. They focused really hard on story and theory, answering questions that were really obvious, like bad casting or your story doesn't make sense. Yes, story and theory are important, but that story will not resonate if your film looks like it was filmed on a disposable camera, which is why we're going to focus more on technique and execution. So with that being said, we're going to talk about 5 real common problems with student films that nobody tends to answer. Starting off, number 1, shooting every shot with a wide-angle lens. Look, every student or amateur filmmaker is guilty of doing this, including myself. They will shoot in only wide angles and not take into account what their focal lengths are. If you're trying to film one person talking or one specific detail, use a longer focal length. Or in other words, zoom in. If you're trying to show the expansiveness of a scene, use a wide angle lens. Or in other words, zoom out. Wide, medium, and tight shots are all done by changing focal lengths, and not only by moving the camera closer or farther. Number 2, using fancy equipment for the sake of using fancy equipment. For example, if you have access to a drone, don't use a drone just for the sake of using a drone. There needs to be a purpose for it. The problem that comes along with this is that drones naturally produce really pretty images, and they don't need a lot of skill in order to make a shot look pretty. Cameras used on the ground, however, do need a lot of skill to create good looking shots. Therefore, if you mix a really pretty drone shot with a really ugly ground shot, you're not going to increase production value but decrease it, because it seems as if you just pulled stock footage off the internet to mix in with ugly footage. Number 3, wrong frame rates. I've seen a lot of student filmmakers shoot in 60 or 30 frames a second. This is either because they don't really care and they just pick up the camera and shoot, or they're trying to go with the more means better idea. Well, guess what? More doesn't always mean better, especially when it comes to filmmaking. We've all equated cinema to 24 frames a second. In this example, you can't really tell that the video is in 60 frames a second because we're working in the 24 frames a second timeline. Click the link in the description to watch the video for yourselves and see what I'm talking about. You should always shoot and export in 24 frames a second. You should only shoot in higher frame rates for slow motion. This is Will in post-production here. To further prove that the clip that I showed you was in 60 frames a second, I can put this film into slow motion. Check out how it's legitimately moving in slow motion and not frame by frame. If you shoot in higher frame rates and export in those higher frame rates, the film will look unnaturally smooth and make it look like you just filmed a home video. Number 4, using the sun wrong. So what time of day should you shoot at? Hopefully a lot of you say golden hour and at sunset or sunrise, but here's the $1,000,000 question. If the sun is facing this way and you want to film somebody standing right here, which way should your subject face? A lot of you are probably saying have them face the sun. Now this is a horrible idea. For one thing, your subjects can't see anything, so they're squinting really hard. Second, it casts really ugly shadows on the face. What you should do is have them face away from the sun and aim your camera into the sun. Therefore, your subjects are not squinting and they get a really pretty sun flare behind them. They also get more even lighting across the face, making them look more pretty. And number 5, a lot of people have said this, but student filmmakers still don't listen. Trying to film something that is not believable. Now this is more of a story thing, and it's not to say that you shouldn't try to get out of your comfort zone. It's just that if you are just starting out, film something that can be believable and is within feasible territory. Nobody is going to believe you if you're in high school and you say that there's a world war going on right now and the buildings are blowing up, or you're in a spaceship that so happens to look like a high school. Film something that you can pull off so that you can present that to as many people as you'd like, and exit your comfort zone as practice to show to only a few people to give you real constructive criticism. Alright, those are the 5 real common problems that I see in student films. If you can utilize these 5 points as student filmmakers, then I promise you will improve much faster than those around you. Now, if you want to learn more filmmaking tips like these ones, go ahead and check out studentfilmmakerpro.com for free filmmaking tips sent straight to your email. If that's not interesting to you, then why not check out this video right here about the best starter camera for student filmmakers. Remember everybody, your work is only just as good as the fun that you had creating it. My name is Will Tran, and I'll see you in the next video.